Hi there, this is Chris, and welcome to our series on vray. Now, where to start with vray? Well, a lot of people have been obviously writing in to the forums and asking what the hell is vray, or how do we use vray, or various related questions. And we thought it was probably time that we put together a series of simple, easy to follow tutorials on how to get some results from vray fast. Covering some basic stuff and then moving on to the more complicated stuff afterwards. So anyway, first off question, what is vray and where can I get it? Well, you can get vray from, if I just start my text document, you want to go to www.chaosgroup.com, or you can go to vray.info, or you can go to www.vrayrender.com. Any one of these places will be able to help you, and you'll be able to download either the free version, which is a cut down version without the special materials, or you'll be able to download the beta, which is a 1 month fully active version, which is basically the full version that you get to try out. Anyway, I'll close that down. So let's start off anyway and just show you what the kind of things we can do with vray are. So for this instance, I'm just going to grab a plane. There we go. Press G to get rid of my grid. I'm going to make a cylinder on my plane just here. Then I'm going to make good old Mr. Teapot just over here. And a box. And then a tube. Okay, now as you know, we've got our basic kind of lighting turned on at the moment, and our scanline renderer. Now the scanline renderer is the one that comes with Max. Max now obviously comes with Mental Ray as well, but the scanline renderer is the one that loads on default. So if I hit F9, that's what I get. And you can see, if we kind of move in a bit closer, we've got some dire need of anti-aliasing going on, and it's just a flat image. There's no shadows. So let's just pretend that we're going to add a few lights to this now. Turn off grid. So just a simple lighting rig. We'll have a target spotlight here. Turn the shadows on. I'll move another one over here and one over here. And I'm not going to muck about with the settings on the lights. Back into perspective. Lift them up, zoom in a bit, hit F9. So now we have some depth, some basic depth and very basic shadows. And you start to get an idea and a basic sense of realism. I mean, anyone can tell this is a 3D model. So, what does vray do? Well, vray is a global illumination renderer, and what it's going to do is allow us to bypass the need for setting up about 50 to 100 tiny little lights to kind of give us the impression of light bounces and things like that. Now, if you're wondering what light bouncing is and how GI works, imagine we've got our light emitter, and prepare for some really awful pictures here. We've got our light emitter here, okay, we're going to call it L. Now, imagine it's shining down a beam of light like this, but it's also shining down beams of light onto here, and onto here, and so on. Now, when it hits this light, it'll then reflect back off again in the other direction. When it hits here, though, it'll come off at an angle, like so, strike that, and then strike back off this way, and same over here. Now, when we use a 3D Studio Max light, say we've got our spotlight here, then the light will come straight down, and it won't bounce. Where it hits an object, if we've got shadows on, it'll calculate the shadows directly, but there's no return of the beam. So, turn this off because it looks really, really bad. As you can see, there it is with no lights. So, let's start by loading up vray and doing some basic stuff with it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit F10, and here's our render scene dialog. Now, what I want to do to load up vray is I'm going to click my Assign Renderer button. I'm going to click here in my Choose Renderer, and then I'm going to choose my vray. Now, you might have vray Basic, you might have vray Advanced, you might have what is it? The demo version, you could have absolutely anything. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is just do a quick render. And as you can see already, if I do that again, because I've got 4 processors here, there you go. It looks markedly different to the other render that we had. I'll just change it back a second so you can have a look. There's the default scan line. There, and I'll make a clone of it. And here's where our new render is, just here. There. So you can see a marked difference already. Okay, so now that we've got vray on, it's time for you to load up the next part of the tutorial, and we're going to talk about putting some basic global illumination in.